Hey friends, I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm excited to share another captivating story with you. The name of this beautiful story is The Silent Lotus and the Wisdom of Stillness. Before we dive into the story, I request you all to kindly subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future stories like this one. So without further ado, let's begin the story. High in the mountains, beside a quiet river, there stood a small Zen monastery. The monastery was surrounded by bamboo trees, smooth stones, and a peaceful pond filled with lotus flowers. Every morning, the monks swept the paths, carried water from the river, and spent a few quiet minutes sitting beside the pond. Among them was a young student who always seemed to be in a hurry. He wanted to learn quickly. He wanted to understand every teaching. And most of all, he wanted his mind to become peaceful. But the more he tried to force his mind to become quiet, the more thoughts seemed to appear. One morning, the student walked toward the pond and found the master sitting beside it. The master was looking at a single lotus flower floating on the still water. "Master," the student said, "I have been trying to make my mind peaceful, but I cannot do it." The master looked at him and smiled. "What happens when you try?" he asked. "I sit quietly," the student replied. "But then I start thinking about everything. I think about my mistakes. I think about tomorrow. I think about what other people think of me. Then I become angry with myself." The master remained silent for a moment. Then he pointed toward the pond. "Look at the lotus." The student looked at the flower. "It is beautiful," he said. "Why do you think it is so still?" the master asked. The student thought for a moment. "Because there is no wind," the master smiled. "Perhaps, but look carefully." The student watched the lotus. A few small insects moved across the surface of the water. A leaf slowly floated past. The branches above moved gently in the breeze. Yet the lotus remained where it was. The master picked up a small stone and dropped it into the pond. Ripples spread across the water. The lotus moved gently with them. The student watched the flower move from side to side. Then slowly, the water became still again. The lotus became still too. "Did the lotus fight the water?" the master asked. "No," the student said. "Did it become angry when the water moved?" "No, master." "Then why should you become angry when your mind moves?" The student became quiet. The master continued looking at the pond. "Your mind will have thoughts," he said. "That is natural. You do not need to fight every thought." The student looked down. "But master, how can I become peaceful if my thoughts keep coming?" The master smiled. "Let them come. And then, let them go." The student looked confused. The master picked up another small stone and placed it beside him. "When you throw a stone into the pond, what happens? The water moves. And if you stop throwing stones, the water becomes still again." The master nodded. "Your mind is similar. Sometimes you create more trouble by fighting your own thoughts. You think, 'I should not be thinking this.' Then you become worried because you are worried. Soon, your mind becomes even more restless." The student slowly understood. He had been doing exactly that. Whenever he felt worried, he became worried about being worried. Whenever he felt sad, he became angry because he was sad. Whenever his mind wandered, he blamed himself for losing focus. The master looked at him gently. "Stillness does not mean that nothing moves," he said. "Stillness means that you do not have to chase every movement." The student sat beside the pond. For a few moments, neither of them spoke. The student took a slow breath in. Then he gently breathed out. A thought appeared in his mind. He noticed it, but this time, he did not fight it. Another thought appeared. He noticed that one too. Then he returned his attention to the sound of the water. The breeze moved through the bamboo. A bird called from somewhere in the trees. The lotus moved gently on the pond. And slowly, something changed. The student realized that peace did not mean having an empty mind. Peace meant learning not to be controlled by every thought that entered the mind. The master watched him quietly. "You see," he said, "the lotus does not need to stop the wind to remain beautiful." The student smiled. and I do not need to stop every thought to feel peaceful." "That is right," the master replied. The student remained beside the pond for a long time. He began to notice how often people struggle in the same way. Today, many of us are constantly trying to control everything. We want people to like us. We want every plan to work. We want the future to be certain. We want our minds to behave exactly as we wish. And when life does not follow our plans, we become restless. We overthink. We worry. We replay old conversations. We imagine problems that may never happen. Sometimes we are not suffering only because of what is happening. We are also suffering because we are fighting what is happening. So the next time your mind feels busy, try something simple. Sit quietly for a moment. Take a slow breath in and gently breathe out. You do not have to push your thoughts away. You do not have to solve everything immediately. Simply notice what is happening inside you. Then allow the thought to pass, just as a leaf passes across the surface of a pond. You may notice that something strange happens when you stop fighting every thought. The mind begins to settle by itself, just as the pond becomes clear when we stop disturbing the water. The student looked once more at the lotus. He had seen the flower many times before, but that morning he saw something new. The lotus was not trying to be peaceful. It was simply resting on the water, and perhaps that was the lesson he had been searching for. Sometimes, peace does not come from doing more. Sometimes, peace begins when we stop struggling with every little thing inside us. The master stood and slowly walked back toward the monastery. The student remained beside the pond for another few minutes. He listened to the wind. He watched the lotus. And for once, he did not hurry to become anything else. He simply sat there and allowed the moment to be what it was. As the morning light touched the quiet pond, the lotus remained gently floating on the water. The student smiled and whispered, "Perhaps a quiet mind does not need to chase peace. Perhaps it only needs to stop disturbing the water." And from that day onward, whenever his thoughts became noisy, he remembered the silent lotus. He would breathe slowly, he would stop fighting, and he would allow his mind to become still in its own time. Because sometimes the peace we are searching for is already within us. We simply become too busy trying to find it to notice. I hope that you have enjoyed this beautiful story and learned something good from it. Until we meet again, take care and stay safe.